Well, at the last budget, George Osborne effectively turned retirement income and inheritance tax planning on its head. He has now made it possible from the 6th of April for an individual investor to exercise a number of options with their retirement pot. First of all, they can leave the pension fund invested as it is today and continue to allow it to grow. Secondly, they can enter something called drawdown, which is basically taking some of your money whilst leaving the rest where it remains invested. Thirdly, there's the option of withdrawing a lump sum of cash in a large pot or a series of smaller lump sums. Fourthly, the option which has always existed, which is to buy an annuity, whereby somebody exchanges the money in their pension pot for a guaranteed income for the rest of their natural life. And then obviously the fifth option is you can mix and match any of the options you have described above. The thing that's grabbed the headlines in the last 12 months and becomes available on the 6th of April for the first time is the ability to take the entire pension pot all in one go and spend it in whichever way you like. And that's the news that's been grabbing the headlines. I think the major impact is it's opening up far more choice for somebody in terms of their pension planning. Somebody can now take a range of options and draw their money out in a number of ways that weren't previously available to them. So it's an explosion of choice that they now have available in terms of pension planning. In addition, they can now factor in their retirement pot and the ability to pass that on tax-free to anybody of their choosing when they die as well. So considerable increase in the number of ways somebody can manage their pension pot. Whenever choice is opened up, I think the first concern is that people get an opportunity to gather enough information to make an informed decision. So lots of different choices. People need to understand all those before they reach a decision. Two areas, first of all, around tax planning. There's a danger that somebody could pay too much tax in one year if they draw out an awful lot of money from their pension, and in other years potentially not use their tax allowances. So tax planning, I think, is going to become an essential part of the decision-making process. And secondly, probably the biggest risk of all is that somebody draws too much money out of their pension too quickly and simply runs out of cash. In terms of getting guidance and a background understanding and informing, I think there's two options that I would draw people's attention to. First of all, pensionwise.gov.uk. This has been heavily advertised by the government, both in the press and on TV. jameshay.co.uk. We have our own guidance booklet, which I think people would find very informative. And then I think if somebody is looking for more than simply guidance, but actually wants an advisor to steer them through what is a complex area and with lots of new legislation, then I would drive them towards unbiased.co.uk, where they can find an impartial advisor who can help them and hold their hand through the retirement planning process. A few final thoughts. First of all, for people to remember that it's not just the pension funds they built up that they'll be likely to be using in their retirement years. Most people will have some ISA savings or perhaps some general investment accounts, some stocks and shares, other savings. And retirement planning these days is very much about blending all of those together and working them together to be as tax efficient and to ensure that their money provides them with best possible income and capital in retirement. Sort of the final thought will be there's no rush. Whilst the new legislation comes into effect on 6th of April, that's not a starting gun. This is very much something that people should consider in the timescales they're comfortable with and make decisions once they've really gathered all the information and they're sure that they're the right decisions for them in the long term.